Hey everybody, and welcome back. This is going to be a quick episode, but something that's going to help you speed up your workflow when building servers. Because so far we have this issue. This is using the same code from the previous lesson. If I start my server, node server.js, I have this endpoint here to /user. So I can go to my browser, I can go to my local host 9000 /user and get that data. Now if I were to come over here and change this endpoint to something like user data, and then come back and make a request to user data, as you recall, my server will say that endpoint doesn't exist. That is what this message is saying. I cannot do a GET request to this endpoint. And that is because, if you recall, when I started my server, it runs this code as of the time when I start the server. So if I change something, my server hasn't picked that up. I need to stop it, restart it, and then go make the request again to make it work. This is a hassle, and it's not something you should have to deal with. So fortunately, there is a package out there that we can install that hot reloads your server, much like when you're developing in the browser. Things change as you type. We're going to have that same aspect for your server, so you don't have to keep stopping and restarting. So what you'll need to do is go to your console, and we're going to install a package globally. So I'm going to go to Notes here, just make a note of this. So the package is called Nodemon, and the install command we're going to use is npm install -g Nodemon. And what the -g means is that we want this package to be installed globally on your computer. That means you only have to install this once. You don't need to install this every time you start a program or write a new server. This is going to be used going forward, but you only have to install it once. So once you've done it, you should be good. So I'm going to come here. You can do this anywhere in your console since it's a global package, and I'll say npm install -g Nodemon. Hit enter. So Nodemon, while it's installing here, Nodemon is that package that is going to hot reload for us. So now instead of saying node server.js, I'm going to say nodemon server.js when I start my server file. And notice it says Nodemon is watching. And anytime I type in here, notice even if it's a comment, the server will restart. So I can go do this GET request to user data. Great. I could also change this back to just user, change this to user, and it still works because in the time it took me to scroll over here and change the URL, my server had restarted and is now keeping track of the new code. So always start your server with Nodemon so you don't have to deal with stopping and restarting. So get this installed, make sure it works, and as soon as you're ready, let's move on.